Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-match show with me, Sab, part of the Clean Bold podcast. One semi-final down, and so much to talk about here at the post-match show. And what a game it was! But before we get into it, guys, make sure you like this video, give it a share, and give it a subscribe as well, because we have a live watch-along happening this Sunday for the T20 Men's World Cup. For the final, we're having a live watch-along. There's going to be lots of guests. It's going to be amazing. Whoever's in it, we'll be there taking you through the entire final. Make sure you join us on Sunday for the final. But yes, this is the post-match show. Today was the first semi-final between New Zealand and South Africa. Now, in my prediction, I said I think South Africa are going to win. They're the better team. They've got all bases covered. This seems to be their time because they've been the best team in the competition and they're undefeated. And yeah, it just feels like this is a new South Africa. Turns out it's not a new South Africa. It's exactly the same South Africa that we've been seeing for the last 20 years in white ball tournaments. I can't even believe it, another semi-final heartbreak for South Africa as they are thrashed by a resurgent New Zealand. All signs pointed to South Africa going another game undefeated into the final that they may have probably won because they've been the best team. That's what everything seems to point to with the way that they've been batting, the way they've been bowling, the way they've been fielding. They've been brilliant every single department right through the tournament until today. I mean, New Zealand absolutely crushed South Africa today in one of the most pulsating but most dominant semi-finals you will ever see. And it's so un-New Zealand-like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. What I mean is you very rarely see New Zealand win in this way. They're normally efficient, they're normally, as I said, efficient, sometimes not overly spectacular. They always get the job done. The thing about New Zealand is they fight, they stay in, they always find a way, and they're always a little bit disrespected, where they're always a little bit like, I don't know, I think the cricket world patronizes them a little bit. We condescend them a little bit because, it's New Zealand, they're here, they made it to another semi-final. They're like plucky underdogs. That's how we talk about them. But actually, we need to look at this in a different way. For a country that doesn't have the resources or even the population like, their neighbors Australia or like in India or England or even South Africa, they're always there. The fact that they routinely make semi-finals, the fact that they're able to find a way to get to semi-finals and finals should be studied and it should be appreciated for what it is. It's amazing. And they have made another final today. Nobody saw this coming. I don't think anyone, even the most ardent and passionate Kiwi, never saw this coming. They may have thought New Zealand had a chance of winning. I don't think anyone foresee that they would win in such a dominant manner. Let's take a look at it. So New Zealand bowled first. They won the toss and Mitchell Sutton decided to bowl first. Now, I did think if they were going to win, their best chance was to chase, to restrict South Africa to a score, utilising their spinners that they've got, like Santner or Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, utilising the conditions. Potentially they could restrict South Africa to, below par score, maybe 180, 190. They bowled first and they bowled really well. Really well. I mean, they restricted South Africa to 168 for 8, but South Africa were 80 for 5 at one point, and at that point I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening. They're actually doing it. South Africa are choking in another semi-final. And New Zealand were brilliant. They were brilliant with the ball. They were brilliant in the field. They really squeezed South Africa. South Africa were just gifting wickets away, though, at times, though. Some crazy shots. Aiden Markram as well was dropped when he was on 3. A relatively easy catch, one you'd expect Ravindra to take. But he then gifted his wicket, which is so unlike him. So this is what I mean. This is what I was talking about. The South Africa, generally now we need to ask ourselves, is this a mental thing? Because the players were making mistakes that you hadn't seen before. Aidan Markram's shot, if you get a chance to watch it in the highlights, watch it. It's not something you'd ever see. They were 40 for something for 3 against India, but Brevis and Miller stuck at it and pulled them out of it to a healthy score. Today, though, you could just see the pressure on David Miller, who's had his fair share of heartbreaks himself as a player. It just seemed like it was getting to him. The shots he was playing were rash. All of these big guys that are coming in the order, Rickle to Brevis, they were just rash, and the pressure really got to them. Now, they did pull themselves a little bit at home. There was a small partnership, about 42 or something, between Miller and Marco Jansen. Marco Jansen scored a 50, very good 50. Yeah, sorry, not David Miller. It was Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen had a small, like a recovery of about 40 runs. They were 77 for 5 at one stage. When Tristan Stubbs got out, it was 150 for 6. So that represents the kind of recovery. And then Janssen was able to pull them to 168, which he felt was 169, sorry, which he felt was below par, even with a bowler-friendly wicket, but on a pitch that gets easy to bat on as the game goes on, which is why New Zealand also wanted to chase. You felt that South Africa just didn't have the runs. And I think everybody thought this is New Zealand's game. And I think, like, oh my God, they're actually going to do it. But South Africa have a phenomenal bowling attack. They've got really good pacers. They've got good spinners. So, the game wasn't over, but you felt New Zealand this was as good a chance as New Zealand were going to get. Because I think if South Africa tipped over 190, hindsight's a wonderful thing. At the halfway stage, I felt South Africa needed to have got 190 or 200. Turns out, even that would not have been enough because New Zealand came out to bat like a team possessed. They batted like they needed to get out of there in a hurry. They needed they got a plane to catch or something. Or look, we've got a train or plane already booked for Ahmedabad. We need to get there now. They played this game in such a rush with such thrilling hitting. I've never seen this from New Zealand, certainly for a long time, not since the days of Brendan McCullum. The kind of hitting that we're seeing. They won this game in the 13th over. So let me break that down. At the end of the 13th over is when this game was won. 173 for 1. New Zealand finished off. They won by 9 wickets. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, it absolutely demolished South Africa, annihilated them. I mean, it was just a shock to watch. Like, I was watching it in disbelief. Like, am I actually seeing this? Are New Zealand really playing this way? If South Africa got 230 or 240, I'm not even sure that would have been enough then. Just a sensational performance from New Zealand. Like, generally, one of the greatest T20 performances you'll ever see. One of the best semi-final performances you'll ever see, no matter what happens in this competition. Tim Seifert, 58 off 33 balls. He really started the foundation, but the star of the show is Finn Allen. 100 of 33 balls at a strike rate of 303.03. 8 sixes and 10 fours. I mean, yeah, he absolutely annihilated South Africa's bowling attack. A bowling attack that has been so ruthless, that's been so brilliant all tournament. He made them look like they were amateurs and that they were an associate nation or a team that had never bowled before or were never used to bowling at this level. Guys like Rabada, Ngidi, Maharaj, Corbin Bosch, Marco Jansen. These guys were getting taken to all parts of the ground. I mean, Marco Jansen he only didn't even bowl just shy of 3 overs. He went for 53 runs, economy rate of nearly 19 in that time. Rabada went for 9 and over. Ngidi went for 11. Corbin Bosch went for nearly 18 and over. Maharaj went for 11. So these guys were normally so good with what they do in their bowling. They were being taken apart. Cricket has a new star, Finn Allen. He's announced himself on the world stage. This is a star is born, as they say. So, yeah, obviously he's going to be in the IPL, so can't wait to see what he does for KKR in the IPL. But, yeah, wow, what a performance. What a performance from New Zealand. And they are into the final. And I don't think many people saw that coming. I think a lot of people predicted South Africa as favourites. And look, that was a right call. Like, South Africa, on paper anyway, they've been playing, they're the better team. In fact, these two have already faced each other in this competition in the group stage, and South Africa comfortably won that game. So, nobody could see. I had a maybe inkling that maybe New Zealand might do something, but if it was going to happen, it was going to be a close game, or so I thought. But that shows you how much do I actually know. I'm just a guy here sitting rambling away. I don't know much. Credit to New Zealand; they were phenomenal. They were brilliant with the ball, brilliant in the field, and sensational with the bat. So now, whoever is going to face them, be it India or England, will now think they aren't going to be easy to beat. They're going to be a threat. So watch out. Um, yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I feel for South Africa. Kieran, I did message him. He's doing okay. He's not in hiding. He hasn't escaped to another planet or anything. Um, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't. I would imagine South African fans don't like the choke tag and this, that, and the other, and I understand that. And I don't necessarily think this is a choke because, as I said, if even if South Africa had got 230, the way New Zealand came out to bat, they probably would have got it. Kieran did mention that, well, look, if South Africa had got the 220, 230, 240 that they probably would have needed, New Zealand may have not come out with so much confidence. But because the target was only 170 and a target I think they believed that they could get, that's why there was so much confidence in their batting. And it's a fair point. We don't know. We never will know what would happen because South Africa never got to the target and they've been royally beaten today. But what you can't argue is that their record in the semi-finals. There is something. There must be something mentally that's blocking these players from getting over the line in these big moments, and it be in a final or a semi-final. It must be the weight of history is weighing on them. Different generations, but the same outcome keeps happening. And against New Zealand, they have a real awful record when it comes to semi-finals. The 2015 one in the World Cup, for example. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Ian Bishop on the Cricket Info post show was sort of saying that, look, we don't need to be too dramatic about this, which is probably, I mean, look at South African cricket. It is in a good place. They are the current reigning World Test champions. I think their women have made quite a few semi-finals and finals. In fact, I think they made the last World Cup final. So this is a team that's doing well. Its cricket is in a good place, which is good for world cricket. The SA20 is really successful. So I don't think South Africa should be too doom and gloom, and hopefully this means for their sake that they can now identify next year, which is obviously the 50 over World Cup in South Africa. So that would be quite a nice story. Okay, they missed out in this one, they missed out in the last one, but they finally got one over in front of their own people. That would be a really nice cricketing story. So this isn't all doom and gloom. It is going to sting a lot because obviously they've been playing the best cricket, they've been undefeated. So to suddenly lose and to have the one game that they lose be the one that eliminates them from the competition is going to sting a lot. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand that. But yeah, I hope for South Africa's sake they're not too down about this and that they can bounce back and maybe win next year. So yeah. But yeah, you can't argue that this is another semi-final defeat, and people are going to throw out the C word at them, whether we like it or not. It's going to happen until they get over the line in a white ball competition. It's going to follow them wherever they go. It, it's kind of amazing that this has actually happened. You know, you almost thought there's no way they're going to do it again, but they have. This, I mean, when I say do it again, there's no way they're going to lose in another semi-final. They have. So yeah, but look, the credit and everything needs to be the spotlight. All needs to go on New Zealand. They were brilliant today. A lot of people probably weren't backing them to win this game, but they have thoroughly dominated South Africa today, bullied them, destroyed them with the bat, and that really throws a big spanner in the works. I think everybody was thinking it's going to be India and South Africa in the final. Well, no, New Zealand are going to be in the final. And who knows who they face. Check out our preview for the India-England game. We've still got time before the match starts, so go and check that out on our channel. But yeah, let's find out tomorrow who wins between India and England and then who faces them on Sunday. As I said at the start of the video, we will be doing a live watch-along again. The last time we did one on South Africa crushed India, so you know I'm hoping India will actually be in this one. But we'll be joined by some of our friends from Crickets for Wickets. And our very good friend Santosh will be joining us as well. So it's a big bumper list of attendees for the final on Sunday. But before that, one more semi-final to go. But never mind that. Today is all about New Zealand. They have been brilliant and they're in the final. And let's see who joins them tomorrow. I've been Sab. This has been the Post-Match Show, guys. We'll see you next time.